Now the papers, and we're starting with The Nation. The major headline in The Nation: Tinubu wife begin historic state visit to the United Kingdom. Stock market gain hits 30 trillion naira. Zulum condemns bombings in Maiduguri. 8.7 billion naira case. How funds were moved to firms linked to Malami. Declining costs of food services push inflation down to 15%. Dangote, China's GCL group seal $4.2 billion gas deal. And we have DIG Sanwo-Olu's free medical outreach for police will enhance efficiency. And at the bottom strip, NSIB launches probe into Abuja-Kaduna train accident. What do we have in The Nation?
We can take the president's...
The major headline?
Yes, the major headline. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and First Lady Oluremi Tinubu will today depart Abuja for a historic 2-day state visit to the United Kingdom at the invitation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. So they say it marks the first state visit by a Nigerian leader to the United Kingdom in decades. It will also make President Tinubu the first Nigerian president to be received by the British monarch at Windsor Castle. The presidency said the visit is intended to strengthen the long-standing relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. You know that we gained independence from British colonial rule October 1st, 1960. And the visit, they said, is expected to open new avenues for cooperation in key areas, including immigration, trade, investment, and cultural exchange. Now, the two countries are the major partners in trade, which reached about 8.1 billion pounds, and also 11 billion dollars in September 2025. And they say they are building fresh momentum around Nigeria's global engagement as sweeping economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu begins to reshape international perception of the country. So according to the schedule of the visit, the British monarch, Queen Camilla, will host the Nigerian leader and his wife at the Windsor Castle tomorrow. And I think during the visit, they are going to see other exhibitions, special exhibitions featuring items that are related to Nigeria and the rest. So let's see how that goes.
So yesterday there were a series of bomb blasts in Maiduguri.
Yes.
They occurred at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. The Monday market, from what I hear, the Monday market is really very crowded with people, and the post office. And they said that it was just it caught all the people there by surprise,
Okay.
It was after the break of the Muslim fast that it happened.
Yeah. I heard it was about 7:20 p.m. or so.
Yeah, a lot of people were injured. The police spokesman for Borno has said that the police have deployed BOD teams to the various scenes, as well as provided phone numbers for emergency calls. But the reason I took this story is because they've ordered residents to remain calm. The governor is in Saudi Arabia for Lesser Hajj. And he sends the message that people should remain calm, and he's condemning the killings. He's a governor. That's your responsibility. It's your state. First thing,
the report should be saying that he's already on his way back home.
Thank you very much.
That's what should be said.
Not that he's condemning the killings.
From afar.
From afar.
He's not done yet.
Distanced from the whole thing.
As if he's not, he's the governor of the state. That's why I took this story, not because of any other thing.
Because if it was your home, your own personal home, you'll be rushing back.
Exactly.
So that's how you should see the state as well. So I agree with you.
Exactly. He's now saying...
Ramatu, what do you have?
Yeah, so I have a story where he said, drive economic growth, says the president. So the president recently, he swore in the Dr. Taiwo as the Minister of State for Finance, with a charge on him to focus on consolidating the nation's financial stability and accelerating economic growth. He said that the president said he deliberately assigned him to the finance ministry because of his role in rewriting Nigeria's tax policy framework and track record in fiscal reform. He also described him as a dedicated professional well suited to help steer Nigeria's fiscal reforms. He said, and I quote, "It didn't take much for me to decide where you fit and where you need to be. to further help the country. It's a very challenging job to look at the fiscal policy and responsibility that comes with it at a time when economic stability is being experienced, but without exponential growth. It is always very difficult, but you fit the bill. That's what the president was telling him. He looked directly into his eye and he said, very good day, Taiwo. I thank you for accepting to serve your country and your motherland. And he in return said thank you, that he will do his best.
Let's move on to the next paper. Vanguard, major headline in the Vanguard. After 6-month break, food inflation resumes upward climb, rises 12.12%. Scores fear dead as multiple explosions rock Maiduguri. Nigerian artists rake in 60 billion naira on Spotify in 2025. Straits of Hormuz, EU rejects Trump's demand for help. Southwest leaders to federal government and governors collaborate to tackle insecurity. I didn't interview Emefiele during probe, EFCC witness. We have Turaki's PDP to APC. You're delusional, says defections won't kill opposition. And at the very top, we have hardship. Civil servants demand 154,000 naira minimum wage. States account for 48% public spending, says Bagudu. Supreme Court affirms AMCON sale of Lagos Continental Hotel for 22 billion naira. What do we have in the Vanguard?
I have an important story here. So, outgoing Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2, DIG Adegoke Fayoade, has expressed excitement and gratitude to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State for prioritizing the health of police officers, saying the initiative will enhance personnel efficiency and effectiveness in the discharge of their duties. Fayoade, who has now been promoted to the rank of Deputy Inspector General of Police, commended Sanwo-Olu for supporting the welfare of police officers through a free eye outreach program organized for officers under the Zone 2 command. They said the 3-day medical outreach started last Wednesday and ended at the weekend. It provided 1,000 police officers in Zone 2 with free eye screening, prescription and glasses, and general medical checkups. And he also expressed their appreciation to the Lagos State government for the initiative, noting that the health of intervention would greatly improve the well-being and efficiency of officers in the discharge of their duties. We've talked about this.
We took
and
it.
It's something
very important to the police because we've taken this exact story last week. Who's there?
Yeah, so I have the story of the civil servants are demanding 154,000 minimum wage. They said the National Public Service Negotiating Council has demanded a 154,000 minimum wage for public workers in Nigeria to mitigate what it described as life of servitude currently being experienced in the country. They actually wrote a letter to the Federal Civil Service, and they were explaining, in the letter, they said they were describing the hardship, and they were saying they are calling the attention of the esteemed office to urgently necessitate for an upward review of salaries and allowances of all 7 public servants in the Nigerian public service. They said that Nigeria had experienced unprecedented economic pressures characterized by high inflation, increased fuel prices, rising transportation costs, and escalating prices of food items, housing, healthcare, and education. They also they said this is not that the current one is not matching the present realities, the current realities, and that they are expecting that that you should look into it and have an upward review of the amount to at least 154,000. I think it was 74,000 or 78,000 before. So let's see how.
YK, what do you have?
Yeah. I took the EFCC's story, Emefiele and EFCC.
Okay.
So an investigator for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, David Jayoba, had said that he didn't personally interview Emefiele. The EFCC are accusing the former central bank governor of obtaining $6.23 million under the pretext that the funds were meant to pay international election observers during the 2023 election.
Are these new accusations or just from...
No, they're the same. It's a 20-count charge against him. But they only spoke about this one in the paper. They had accused him of conferring undue advantage to April 16, the companies, and Architecon Nigeria Limited in the procurement deals. But under cross-examination, the Jai Oba has said that the defendant is not a signatory to the accounts.
Okay.
He does not recall that Emefiele was listed as a director or a shareholder of the company, and that he never mentioned April 16. He said that he's neither a director to the second company, and anyone linked is not. So they now asked him, did you interview him? He said no, it was his team that interviewed Emefiele.
Okay.
That they got he said they got the evidence from witnesses, suspects that they interviewed previously.
Yeah.
And that's how they came about that
particular accusation. So I have this story. They said the European leaders have rejected demands by the US President Donald Trump to help to clear the Straits of Hormuz as foreign ministers from the European Union gathered in Brussels yesterday. As you know, the ongoing fight between the United States and Israel and Iran, we have this very important waterway, right? Straits of Hormuz. A lot of is a channel that a lot of importation and shipping goes through. And because of this war, Iran has put like a ban, nothing that's going to pass the United States or Israel. Some countries are allowed. So Trump gathered everybody. He said, we need your help. Everybody need to put mouth in this thing. We need to be able to capture this so that, you know, there'll be better free flow of products, especially oil products. As we know, oil prices are just skyrocketing. The European leaders are looking at it. The one from Germany says, is this our war? It does not look like this has anything to do with us, you know? And then there are others asking, what is your plan for this war in the first place? When is it going to end? US is saying, this is not the time for that kind of talk. We are allies, and we need the allies now. You don't even have to tell us how you want to help us. Just tell us.
He has been abusing NATO.
Exactly. Anyway, so it just does not make the United States seem like a strong contender in this whole thing. They may be stronger militarily, but obviously there are other factors in the war.
The thing is, this war is causing
too much
problem everywhere. Now, see, a country like UAE, where they make their money from, is tourism. Which tourists won't go there?
Won't go there now.
I mean,
is it true that they asked Ghana to join?
Wow.
Oh, I saw that.
That's true.
Like
it's like a social media thing. I saw that. They said, no,
but you know, there was a story.
Please.
There was a part where they said Iran now they don't collect dollars now. They said they want to start collecting yuan.
Well, we'll see. So these are all the types of wars. There are different types of wars. Let's look at our next paper. Nigerian Tribune. Major headline. Tinubu in historic visit to UK to sign MOU on trade, investment, defense. NADDC, NMDPRA forged partnership to drive Nigeria's CNG adoption. APC convention, NWC retains zoning arrangement. ADC vows to resist plots to make Tinubu sole presidential candidate. Many casualties feared as explosion rock crowded areas in Maiduguri. We took that earlier on. And the health section here, we have treating infected teeth may protect one from heart disease. And finally, passengers injured in Abuja-Kaduna train accident. NSIB begins probe. What story do we have in the
health? So they said, according to a new research, they said treating an infected tooth with a successful root canal, a procedure may do more than relieve the pain. They are saying that it could also help reduce inflammation linked to heart disease while improving blood sugar and cholesterol levels. And the first of its kind clinical study, researchers at King's College London examined changes in patients' blood chemistry after treatment for apical periodontitis, a common dental infection. And they said the infection occurs when bacteria invades the root of the tooth and its surrounding tissue. And if left untreated, the bacteria can enter the bloodstream, triggering inflammation and potential risk of cardiovascular disease, while also affecting the body's ability to regulate blood sugar. But they said that with the treatments and the clinical trial they did, they found that people who had been treated of, who had like a successful root canal therapy, was able to stabilize and remove some of those their cardiovascular diseases, blood sugar came down and all of that.
I've always heard that.
Tooth
Tooth is connected to your brain and to your heart. What else do we have?
Yeah, so I have the story of the CNG partnership. They said the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development, that's NADDC, Mr. Joseph Osapin, has held a strategic engagement with the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Regulatory NMDPRA, that's Said Mohammed, aimed at deepening institutional collaboration to support Nigeria's energy transition, accelerate the adoption of compressed natural gas, and advance automotive industrial development. They said this collaboration was critical to ensuring that gas supply infrastructure kept pace with the rising demand for vehicle conversion across the country. He also noted that such synergy was very important in driving the development of Nigerian automotive industry. And you know, it's been difficult. This conversion has been difficult for some time now. So I like the fact that they are trying to make sure that at least people will easily convert to the CNG thing, and also make where the conversion this is available for everyone.
Why did you have a story?
Oh yeah, yesterday as well there was the
Abuja.
In Abuja, the train crashed. Oh gosh, where did I?
Okay. While you're looking for it, should I take another story?
Take another story.
Okay, so it's about Nigerian artists, though. They said they are swimming in money, according to Spotify. So they said Nigerian artists generated more than 60 billion naira in revenue from music streaming on Spotify in 2025. When I advised BC to pursue her music career, she did not hear me. 60 billion naira, that's what they are talking about. This is according to new data released by the global streaming platform, annual Loud and Clear report. It says this, of course, provides insight into the economics of music streaming, revealed that earnings by Nigerian artists on Spotify alone grew by more than 140% over the past 2 years, reflecting the expanding global reach and commercial strength of the country's music industry. The figures, they say, show that Nigerian artists were building international audiences while also strengthening their presence at home. Local consumption of Nigerian music also witnessed a sharp rise. So it just talks about how much they are raking in, and also shows that we're consuming our music and we're also exporting it, and the world is enjoying our music. That's it. That's good. Well done to these artists.
Yes,
please come and pay your tithes to those of us that listen to your music.
We
just have less than a minute.
We don't have time.
Yes, a very short time.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so that's all we can take from the papers today. So when a place meant for learning turns into a stage for fear, the nation takes notice. Disturbing videos emerging from Igbinedion Education Center have shocked Nigerians, showing acts of bullying so severe that they sparked widespread outrage. Parents, students, and concerned citizens have taken to the streets demanding accountability and action, while social media amplifies every clip, fueling national debates on the safety of children in schools. This morning we ask, how did bullying escalate to this level in a reputable school, and what must be done to protect students before more lives are harmed? Ladies, what are your general thoughts on those horrendous videos that we saw over the weekend and the reaction from the school? What do we think of that reaction? We'd also like our viewers, of course, to join the conversation on 0201 635 2013 or 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourView on TVC, and we're still streaming live on YouTube. I mean, when I saw those videos, right, there were a mix of feelings for me. Of course, the overriding one was just concern for those victims, for those children who were bullied. But as much as I was angry, I really felt sad, even for the bullies. Like, how are you as a child? Where do you get that sort of mindset? How do you feel comfortable inflicting such hurt and pain and embarrassment or humiliation on your fellow students? So for me, it was just a mix of a lot of feelings, but I'm definitely very angry and concerned for the victims.
I was very angry as well, because in my head, and I know that in many schools, especially in secondary schools, these sort of things happen. And they happen because sometimes we have believed that young people get to a certain age, they have to go through the rite of passage, where we have seniors and the juniors look forward to being the seniors because the seniors have a leeway to send them on errands unnecessarily. If you had gone to the boarding house, it happens. To, you know, punish them unnecessarily, anyhow that they want. And the teachers have very minimal supervision over them because they assume that it's something that you have to go through. They've already gotten to that seniority, that's higher class. So you that you are still coming up, you have to sort of serve them in some way, right? And it's something that was or has been acceptable across all our secondary schools. It's just a few schools now that I know that they have found a way to say, this is not going to happen. Yes. I would have said that. Some very strong private schools that there's nothing, we know that seniority, but that seniority is in places of leadership. You know, students should be able to ask you to go and do this for them. It's not allowed in some schools. I know those schools. And nobody would be able to punish you because you did not come, you know. Even the prefects, they have, to the extent to which they can do. Punish, they are not even allowed to punish. They can report, put your names down and then report to, you know, the teachers who are supervising. So for many years, it's been a part of our culture in schools to just, as they are getting to that senior level, to just allow them. We feel like, okay, they should have some form of autonomy to handle the junior ones.
So that culture has resulted in what we're seeing today.
It's resulted to what we're seeing. And now the bullying aspect of it is, there are many schools that we have, teachers are quite overwhelmed. Okay. When they have break times, right, the teachers are trying to just take a few moments to catch their breath because they've been teaching from one lesson to the other. And that's not the time that you have. Those days we used to have duties where teachers will parade, even during the breaks, they parade and just watch and check the classroom and see what is happening. I don't know if that's still obtainable here. And, you know, a lot of people had blamed the parents, which is number one. But sometimes our environment can change.
Parents of the bullies.
Of the bullies, that maybe they learned it from home, maybe those ones are maltreating their housemates. And it's possible, it's also not possible, because sometimes environments can change children. You know, you come into a school, they bully you to a certain level, you are waiting for, let me just enter SS1, I will show them. Let me just enter SS2, I will do my own back. Most times it's not even from the parents being very aggressive or fighters to get children to bully. And that's why the school, because it's happening in the school environment, the school has to take real responsibility for how they allowed it to get to that point, the number of hours those children stayed beating up another child, and no teacher, no supervisor passed to even see what was happening.
Okay, I hear you. You know, there was something that you said, I wanted to question that a bit when you were saying this is something that has been acceptable, you know, almost like it's still acceptable. I thought that we have discussed bullying so much that it is not as acceptable as it used to be in our time, at least. You know?
So, but we were seniors in secondary school now, but we never...
No, I meant the bullying thing.
Me too, I sat down, when I saw that video, I really sat down and I was like, what's causing this bullying in schools? Why do people bully? And the only answer I could, that kept on coming to my head was, I think it comes from the home. I think there's lack of attention. Because you know now, these days, most parents are very, very busy. They don't have time for their children. So they leave their children in the hands of maids, other people to raise them. So in that aspect, you know, they don't really have that connection to understand your child and know what your child is going through is not there. So when they go to schools, they form groups. You see, this peer group, I always say this thing, peer group is a very, very critical stage in a child's life that you must look into. Because when they go to school, they form groups, and those groups are very, very important. So you see, when they come into such groups, they always have a leader. And that leader of that group, if you happen to have a leader who wants to control, who wants everything, you know, done, you know, there's always that dominating wherever in the child, then you have to question that group. You understand? So, but most times, whenever such bullies happen, most times people look at the person who must have done the bully. They don't even look at the person that was bullied. Okay. You understand? The person that was bullied, they go through a whole lot. You understand? Because I remember there was a case that I handled some time ago when somebody was bullied. actually it happened to my child. And we were just sitting down, me and my husband were sitting down, we were gisting, and then the next thing we got a call. She just called, she said, Mommy, come and take me away from this school. Come and take me away from this school. Come and take me away from this school. And all of us were confused. We were like, what's going on? We called the principal, we called everybody, you know, and then they were like, okay, they will look into it, they will look into the case. And then, you
so
know,
was she bullied or was she bullied?
She was bullied.
Okay.
You understand? It was a group of, you know, she
girls.
was in a group of girls, and then there was one girl that, you know, first of all, they said they're keeping malice with her. They said she did something
to isolate
wrong.
Her.
Yes, so they said they even said it. They said they were going to isolate her, that she's going to go into depression, and that eventually she will now commit suicide. You can imagine children.
What age are we talking about here?
This is she was 14. Yes.
Oh.
So you can imagine how deep that thing can be. So they did that. They isolated her. They, you know, and she got it up to here. And then I went to the school. I spoke to her. Even I had to even call all the kids. You know, the children. I spoke to them. I was like, "What did she do? Did she do anything wrong for you guys to do this to her and everything?" They were like, "No, that's they just don't. Nothing. She did not do anything that they are going to change." And they never changed. It continued, and at the same time, my daughter was having this low self-esteem. So I was really trying, you know, calling.
Okay.
I used to call once in a while, but
sure.
I now started calling.
How about the school?
More.
How did the school get involved?
The school got involved. They said they will monitor them, they will look into them. But you see, that group, you see that peer group thing, you know, is a very strong thing.
Yeah.
So there's a little to what the school can do. That's just the truth. So I kept on calling to follow up and everything, and she kept on complaining, and then I realized that it was becoming worse because she herself, she was not doing very well with it.
Okay.
I had to take a drastic step, which was what? I moved her out of the school.
Simple.
Just removed her from that circle.
Thank you for doing that. I'm happy that that's how that ended.
So we most times only talk about the person that did the bully, but we don't talk about the because the person that even did the bully is not like as if the person is a bad person, or we will now say, okay, because he's a bully, we will now throw him into the
let me hear YK's initial thoughts. I actually thought we were going to talk about the videos first, you know, what we felt when we saw that, but YK.
There are several videos that I've watched, and it's the same school. Another thing I noticed, because I listened to Nifemi's program as well yesterday, is the same room that the bully
happens.
Yes.
The torture happens. The bullying will start long before they take you to the torture room.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So, for me, I would hold the school culpable.
Yes.
Definitely, because you cannot say you do not know that this happens in your school. There are some nasty things written on the walls of that same class. There are no chairs in the class. So,
breeding ground.
The school turns a blind eye to what is happening. Now, children, you see, it's the same thing. An abused child grows up and abuses another child.
Yes, true.
The same way and I'm talking physical abuse, sexual abuse. It's a vicious circle.
Yes.
Now, these boys were probably bullied when they were juniors, and are now, because I agree with you, they are now meting out the same punishment to their own juniors. What has the school been looking at?
John.
What has the school been looking at? Say it is until a child dies before their eye will clear. So because I heard that they want to prosecute the kids. I'm not saying don't prosecute them. But while they are prosecuting the children, you see the principal, the teachers, all of them should be under investigation. Why are you allowing this to happen in your school? That means you are not attentive.
Yeah.
You know, and in the case of your daughter's school, I would have prosecuted the school.
Okay.
I not just take my daughter out. I would have because it's my money.
Let me interrupt you, please. We need to interrupt the show for a bit for a developing story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu are right now departing Abuja for a historic state visit to the United Kingdom. The visit comes at the invitation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla and marks the first time in decades that a Nigerian leader is undertaking such a state visit. President Tinubu is also set to become the first Nigerian president to be officially received by the British monarch at Windsor Castle. We'll bring you more updates as this trip unfolds on all our TVC communication platforms. YK, please.
Yes. So, so while they are doing their investigation, please investigate the people that are allowing it to happen, the adults in the building that are allowing this to happen.
Thank you.
Allowing this to happen.
Thank you.
Because they cannot say they do not know.
It's not possible.
Now, the people that posted it, and the boy was recording it, so
yes,
he was recording, he was proud of it, now took the phone. It's somebody that recorded it that posted it because maybe it has reached here from them.
Okay, so you don't think that he meant to post it? Because I thought it was a situation of I did it, we're bragging and we're posting to show how
possible.
It's possible, but I felt that it was someone else. Because if you know, in the background there was someone begging for him. That's the first
yes,
video
I
that
saw
we
that. I heard that as well.
So now there are other videos that people have recorded. That's why they are all coming out now.
Okay.
Do you understand?
That makes sense.
Many have come out now. Like 3, 4 I've seen. Have come out. So people have been recording, and expulsion, fantastic.
Yes, I think that's a very good. That's a good first step.
Yes.
But as you said, there are just so many other things that needs to be done to investigate this
By the
matter.
time
But let's go.
they will expel her from the school.
I've heard like our initial conversation, but some of the things that I saw under the post, the comments I saw under the post, I saw a lot of people blaming parents for not teaching their children how to defend themselves or fight for themselves. That was a conversation I had quite a bit. Some people thought, how dare you say that the victim has to defend themselves? Some people say, yes, you to teach your child to be strong, teach your child to have self-esteem because you're not playing your part. How do you see that conversation? Because many Nigerians seem to have that mindset.
Yes, I used to have that mindset before, but there was a video we saw when the girl was being beaten and then she retaliated, and as she retaliated with anger, the person fell and we felt the person had died. She hit. We talked about it on the show. I now went back and I told myself, Mbao, I think this teaching my child to be able to defend themselves is not like the right thing to do, right? Because in defending yourself, you may now end up killing, mistakenly, and then the court will not ask you that you're defending yourself. Manslaughter is manslaughter. Is there a better way we can do this? So first of all, for me, I know that the first thing is when your child is going out there, we're going to hold you as a parent responsible for how your child decides to behave, right? But if I've taken my child out of my home and I put my child in a boarding school and I see my child like once in 3 months at the end of the term and all of that, it is you who have handed my child over to that has the first responsibility of observation. A teacher's first responsibility is to observe. I'm a qualified professional teacher. I have my certifications and I worked for 5 years as a classroom teacher. The first thing you learn is observation. So if I notice that this particular child is troublesome, is beating people, is fighting, the first thing I do is to have a meeting. I call the parents. We have observed that your child is like this. My pain in the whole matter is that there's a designated classroom where this is happening. And for hours, it can happen without anybody even passing to say what's going on here. Like they abandoned that place. And those kids, and I'm asking myself, hold on please. I'm asking myself, what time do they have? Because I know secondary school curriculum is heavy. I have children in secondary school. They hardly have time to even rest because they're constantly doing from one homework to another, from one project to another. So at what time did they have to take out a few hours to go and bully somebody and nobody saw it? So the first responsibility is on the teachers. Then can I talk about the expulsion? Because
before you get into the expulsion, just so that we have a conversation. When you're talking about time, and I was just remembering being in secondary school, there were times that, we're on our own for quite a bit, especially at the weekends. If you're in boarding school, at the weekends, you'll be on your own for quite a bit.
But they have uniforms on.
Yes.
Well, it's not a weekend.
No, I'm just saying that there are times that if you're in secondary school, as a student, you have that free time to move around and do your thing without teachers right on you. During school hours, you find lots of teachers. After school hours, you find designated teachers to just keep an eye, generally. That's why we have prefects. Those prefects are also supposed to help teachers keep an eye. So I'm just saying that there are many opportunities for bullies to carry out this over a long period of time without it getting to the attention of the teachers. So are we saying now that in schools we should just have teachers lined up everywhere 24/7? What are we saying here? Is it more about the teacher standing at every junction to make sure that children are not misbehaving? Or is this about teaching children, how to behave and behave with each other? I'm asking this because we also have parents, like I said earlier, that are asking, why didn't you teach your children self-esteem? So it looks like there are different people that are being blamed. So is the teacher? Is the parent? Whose fault is it really when we look at it?
Okay, so you see, first of all, I used to ask myself that, okay, what about the people especially the person that's taking the video or everybody around, and this bully, but the person doing the bully, they've worked on the person's psychic, the person is bullying the psychological whatever of the child, everything of the child. So the first thing, the child doesn't think that he should retaliate. The first thing is the person will just, because the bully is like a leader, like the headmaster, like he's the capone of the group. Exactly. So everybody is loyal to him. So as he's doing that, everybody is trying as much as possible to just be on their own. To make sure that,
yes. Let me take this call from Adeswa. Good morning, Adeswa from Ogba. Good morning, Adeswa.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Good morning.
Okay, this is Zita calling from Oba.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this program. I'm really enjoying it. This thing happened at Oba, at Pennsylvania, that bridge up here. A student came there because of bullying. That student fell from there, wanted to commit suicide. At that Pennsylvania over there.
Okay.
So nobody, even though those sectors need to pass, nobody need to help this boy. Until you have to carry this boy, you are three women that carry this boy to general hospital. They rejected the boy. So now started looking for this boy's school. Before we now get the boy's school, I don't want to mention the boy's school. Okay. When they took the boy to the hospital, later I have to find out that it's bullying that made the boy to jump, 50-year-old boy.
Look at that.
To jump from the bridge, want to commit suicide.
Look at that.
It's bad.
Thank you, Rita, for calling. So it just shows us how fast, how widespread this bullying is.
Yeah. So I was still saying, when it happened, I was still trying to make her, I was trying to tell, equip her and tell her that, okay, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. She was doing it, but it wasn't working because the group, they're so strong and it's more than half of the class. Maybe they are just 10 in the class. About 8 of them are already in the group. And the other 2, she just can't see that, she can't see them, she can't be friends with them somehow or something like that. But she needed to be in that, that same group with them and everything. So I sat down and I looked at it. I was trying, this thing that they'll say, oh, fight them, do this, do that. It's not everybody that can fight, that can do this fight. So at the end of the day, I now told her that, okay, if you cannot do this, I had to now
What
take
does
a drastic
self-esteem
measure.
look like in a child? What would that look like?
Okay, so she'll be quiet.
I don't know about what it looks like, but I know that when a child is
facing
miserable
bullying
in school, it shows.
Yes.
The child is very reluctant to wake up in the morning to go to school. The child is not happy in himself or herself. So all those signs, if you look out for those signs. When my daughter was in secondary school, she was in this school. She had gone from primary school, where she was very happy, to the secondary school of that same school. And there were only 4 girls in the class. So she was friends with one and the other 2. Now, her own friend now left the school. She was miserable. I noticed that she was miserable. I didn't think twice.
Yeah.
I moved her. Because it's in secondary school that your friends for life. That's when you get your friends for life in secondary school. So I moved her quickly. And those are still her friends till today. I mean, when I moved her
To a new school.
to a new school where they were, to an all-girls school, where there were more girls, those are still her friends till today.
Yeah.
Do you understand? In primary school, I remember I was bullied in primary school. And I'm telling you, it was a very miserable time for me. And we were bullied. It was my brother, my sister, and I. Maybe that's why we ended up very, very close. Because my father was a musician, and he was in America. And you know, there were all these rumors around the whole country that, oh, he was in jail and all kinds of nonsense. So they used to bully us, and we were miserable. We were totally miserable. Till after some time, my mother couldn't even afford the school fees, so we started staying at home, you know. But I remember that school, and it was the most miserable time.
And you still remember how
miserable
you were while you were there. BC, when we say that a child has to have self-esteem in the face of a bully or a group of people that are bullying you, what would that look like in a child that has self-esteem?
The first thing is to go and report to the authorities.
Okay.
Because when bullying happens, they always rely on using fear as a tool. They tell you, if you tell anybody we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So they keep you so afraid that you're not able to communicate what you're going through. But a child who has self-esteem, who knows that whatever happens, my parents will stand for me, would first of all, because when you are training your children to have that self-esteem, the first confidence you give them is that I am behind you. No matter what, have a conversation with me, tell me. The second thing is be bold enough to report and insist that they call your parents immediately. I tell my children that. Make sure that you stand there till they call your parents immediately. If, for instance, you've reported first time, you've reported second time, and they're not answering you, because I've seen that happen where a child goes to report and then they are not answering. They say, don't worry, we'll handle it. Don't worry, we'll handle it. And that is still happening. So I always insist, tell them today I want to. So it takes a child who is very bold and confident to insist in the principal's office, I'm not living here until you call my mommy or my daddy. So we need to have, first of all, have a close relationship with our own children to the point that they know that whatever happens, mommy or daddy is behind me, and instilling the right values in them as well. So you're not the one who is going to beat people up and you feel I'm confident, you are confident enough that I'll come and fight for you. You are the one that if you receive it, you will find a way to report it. They will get me involved, and then we can handle it.
So I like that we went there, because you know, some people will see a child being beaten and just assume that that child doesn't have self-esteem. What if your child has self-esteem, but what you are watching is that child right in the midst of being bullied? But we have a call, Wasimi from Abuja. Good morning, Wasimi.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone of you in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, so this is my take. If we complain, if we blame the teachers and the parents, and the children are hearing us complaining about the teachers and the parents as against their evil behaviors, these children will continue what they are doing. Children are wicked. Have we not heard of children that have killed their schoolmates in the name of seniority? Look, the children should be taught, apart from the self-esteem, they should be able to stand up for themselves. If the boy they killed few years ago, and I think in Kaduna that was killed by his seniors, if he was able to stand up for himself, he didn't have died.
Can I ask you this question?
Please.
When they gang up against you, like there are 3-4 people beating you, how do you want to stand up for yourself?
Exactly.
Okay, yes, except for a gang up. But this video we have now, it's not 2 against 1 or 3 against 1. Those children, and you know that if those children were able to stand up for themselves, look, they will fight their way out of that place.
Thank you.
These children must be brought to book. Okay. Because if we say it's the fault of the parents or the fault of the teachers that cannot be there from morning till night to day, they will not relax and continue these evil behaviors. They should be treated like the character they have brought forth. Imagine the students growing up like this, with this evil character, and their parents are being blamed, or their teachers are being blamed, or elders around them are being blamed. Imagine these children growing up. Just imagine.
Yeah.
These are people we have in the society that you can't trust children around them. You can't even trust parents. They will beat up their parents. These children you are looking at, it's not just their juniors will be beat. Even their elders, they will beat them if they are not brought to book.
Thank you, Wasimi. Thank you for your contribution. Waki wanted to jump in when she was making some statements.
Yes. I wanted to say the video. It
was a gang up.
It was a gang up. There was more than one child there beating that boy, and I mean, they were filming. They were even filming. You know, so obviously there was more. If that boy had tried to retaliate, the beating he would have collected, maybe he would not be here to tell the story. So when we are saying retaliate, be careful what you are advising your children to do. You know, the best thing is to report, so that when you have reported, if action is not taken, then we know which way we are going. And I agree that they should be prosecuted. Yeah. There's juvenile court. They so that it will deter the remaining coming behind. Yeah. Because obviously in that Igbinedion, from all the videos I've seen, it's even a normal thing. See that one that they told him to just do like this. If you go and bang somebody on the head and you just collapse, they don't even know the gravity of what they are doing, that you can kill somebody by bullying. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so thank you. I have a call from Abuja. Told you from Abuja. Good morning, told you.
Good morning. What I would like to say basically is that the school should find a way to get the parents of the students, the church, as a rule, or whatever his name is, just get the parents of the students and try to also find a way to question them and to prosecute them. They can't just do a video online and start showing that kind of character. That's very regretful. I went to Igbinedion University, and I know they don't condone indiscipline, and they don't condone this attitude of court life and everything. So I think that's what they should do. And Igbinedion Center is supposed to be the secondary school. I think before they start admitting students, they should find a way to check their body language, check if they have any criminal records, and try to find a way to not just collect money from them, just because you want to admit them, but do a proper checkup on their character and their background too. Yeah. So that's how I see it, and because it's very embarrassing. You can't just do a video and put, and the class wasn't even, there was no furniture there. So I don't know how they have been conducting how they're conducting things in the school. So this is just my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Toji, for your contribution. You know, there's one thing I would like to talk about. I don't know if we saw the part of the video where the boy, we were told that he had been suspended or expelled, and he was being taken out of the school. And it looked like he didn't care. He had this attitude about him. Yeah. So the steps to take, we have talked about prosecution. What steps should you really take? Some people have said that it's a suspension, they are meant to come back. So what are the right steps to take going forward? Who would like to go?
Okay, so yeah, I like the fact that he was being suspended, and expulsion is just the right thing to do, so that at least people will learn. But the thing about it is that when you expel, another school will take him, because most times, most of these schools, they are mostly money-making businesses. So now I'll go to the roots. That is the parents. You parents, most parents, like me now, I'm very active in my children's life. I try to know the kind of friends that they follow. So their friends, I am friends, like not really friends with them, but anytime I call my kids, I try to talk to all the other kids. How are you? What's, find out about them. And then anytime I go to pick my kids from school, when we're coming, I always make sure that I listen to everything. I want to know about their friends. Tell me everything about this friend. Tell me why you are friends with this person. Tell me why. Once I start suspecting something suspicious about one person, I now start, psychologically try as much as possible to detach my child from that person. You understand? I start saying some things like, oh, look at this guy now. Do you think he has this kind of behavior of his is appropriate? Start looking for how to detach yourself from him. And
I get you, but Waike had been talking about prosecution. So is it the school that will prosecute? Is it the parents of the victim that will prosecute? That's what I would like to know. But let's take a call from Alex from Port Harcourt. Good morning, Alex.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Auntie Dixie, everybody in the house. Auntie Dixie, want to see thank God.
It's again.
You want to see?
Oh.
You want to see? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, a quick one. Like yesterday, I was watching it on telly. I was actually watching it with my kids, and I told them, see, nobody. Number one, person is no good, but nobody has any right to bully you. if they are more than 2 or 3, if they are more than 1, cause one person bites out the person's ear in defending yourself. First, you need to learn how to defend yourself and look for a way of escape. And walk to your teachers. Make your complaints and all that. That's why I don't really like getting schools. You know, but for these guys who have done this, I don't think expulsion is okay. It's not. Because in as much as we are blaming their parents, but you know, I don't even want to blame the parents 100%. Because sometimes that is also a factor. You see parents that are well...
What's a factor? Sorry, Alex, what did you say is also a factor?
And their peer group, you know,
peer groups, okay.
meet in school. Yeah, you see a parent who has tried to train their kids. They're giving them good morals. They talk to them, but when you go outside, they mix with this kind of, and somehow it's difficult for them to, will I say, differentiate between good or bad or something. I know when they've gotten to that teenager age, they want to explore. They want to, and couple the truth.
Thank you, Alex.
Couple the truth.
Okay,
couple the truth they think the seniors in school do. That training given to them by the parents. You know, so if as much as
you're breaking up.
Parents 100% because we don't know how they're bringing up us. I really don't want to blame I blame the teachers. But the students who have committed this crime, who have the mind, they have to do this. They should be punished for it. Expulsion is not just enough. They should be punished for it so that they will have this they will take this responsibility.
What kind of punishment do you think will be best for children like this?
Because they're adults. I'm sure they are both 18 years. So
most of them may be younger. Okay.
Younger ones, they have the smaller
juvenile,
whatever.
Yes.
I don't know what it's called. But seriously, they should be punished for it. So that
Thank you, Alex. So, Alex is saying expulsion is not enough. Just like you, YK, where you're talking about proper taking them to court and let them go through that. And when we say that, where's the part of, I was thinking, where's the part of rehabilitating a child? Leaving them in the school, I know this may sound but leaving them in the school, making them serve some kind of punishment, diminishing their authority or whatever power they have while still being in the school, wouldn't that have a better impact so that the core bullies, we see what can happen to you, or is that just such a difficult scenario?
I hear you. I hear you. Sounds like a good plan, except it depends on how powerful
the person is.
Those children are. If they are very powerful, they will start again. You haven't punished them enough.
Yeah.
And as you can see that, for me, I think, I might be wrong, the teachers are not really on top of their game. They will, if you leave them in the school, they will start again. They will continue. They will, in fact, they will develop more power. And power corrupts, we all know.
Yeah.
So, and I want to link this because people will always say I'm always linking it to Nigerian politicians. But that bullying is what happens in Nigeria too. The Nigerian politicians, they bully us. Yes, now. You go and offend the Nigerian politician. I will tell you who I am. Who are you? Before you know, a police have come and collected you, locked you, just because you have a disagreement.
Yes.
So that bullying, they've carried it from. So that is why Kuku train them now, before they become politicians. Because since you say they are children of the rich, they are going to be politicians in future, and they will bully us, or they will bully our children. It's true. Well, what happened with David Umar? Is that not bullying?
Well, allegedly.
No.
He
was there when they arrested the girl.
About it, that was bullying.
It was bullying. I don't know whether the girl did anything or all that one is alleged. I said the fact that to me it was a civil case. The way they came down on her, that was bullying. That senator that beats the Uber driver. Is that not bullying?
Oh, yes. Many cases of adults being bullied. YK, let me take a call. We have a call from Ola. Good morning, Ola.
Hello. Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you for this nice program you came up with. You all are doing great.
Thank you very much.
I commend you all. My sister, Issues, all of you. I really did a great job. You see, one of you said earlier that what kind of punishment should this kind of bullying attract? They should be taken to a correctional center at their level, maybe a welfare correctional center. They should be in the rehabilitation center. What I watch in this video now, you see, what could happen if those guys are restricted to they are taking their ground and they are not going? What has happened to other children in that school? Who knows? How come, you see, with body guys, can you imagine? They came in convoy. All these people are not using machetes. They are not being weaponized to chase their fellow school juniors in their school. You get what I'm saying? What if we are taking it to where we used to punish people, to the theater, whatever, what you call it, they are abandoned classes. You see, what if they are restricted that they are not going? I believe there must be a threat on any side that refuse the punishment that have been given to some children. They are refused to see in fear. Those guys went and obeyed them. So they were in suits inside.
Yeah.
They don't even know, like you said earlier, they don't know the meaning of what they are even doing, what it could lead to. Some have died in depression in many. Okay, what will the teacher have? Those guys must have had their falling bruises on their faces. You see?
Yeah.
When the teacher sees them, they won't be able to ask. What the teacher has asked, the school should be prosecuted.
Thank you.
Like Sister Yeni has said earlier, the school should be prosecuted. Yes, it's what to do. And they should stand as an example to others. Those students, my own take, those students should not be allowed to gain admission into any school in Nigeria, at least for 5 years or 10 years. So that they will stand as an example to others.
All right.
Thank you very much.
That's another point.
Thank you.
Waiki, you're quite interested in our last caller, Mr. Ola, that suggested that said, do not allow these children to be admitted into any schools for a period of time, which I think can send quite a serious message. What do you think? Would you like to go first, or BC, would you like to jump in?
Okay. So I was about to say initially that I don't believe in just expelling the students. Because I feel that expulsion will not drive the lesson home for them. When you expel a child, the parents will not just sit idle. They will have to find another school for that particular child. And sometimes the lessons are lost along the way. The child goes on to another school. He may or may not misbehave, but you have really not driven in the lesson that you want to. I would have started with, what is the school's policy on bullying? Because I know of a school that their policy is very strong on bullying. They drum, as you are coming every year, they are drumming it in. They are listing all the punishments that you will get. As they are going for PTA meetings, they are drumming it. So when we get home, because of the fear of how they have shouted bullying, we are still, please, I must not catch you, fight anybody. So the fear has been instilled and is an ongoing conversation. So if you as a child now decide to go and bully and you are caught, the first thing is not expelling. I would have asked, is this their first time? We always assume that children at a certain age, I'm assuming now that these kids are minors because they are still in secondary school. They are minors. Their brains have not fully developed.
Maybe 13, 14, when I see them.
They are in that space where there's identity, a clash. They really don't know who they are. They are still developing. Many of the things they are doing, either they've picked up from outside or from peers or, So if we focus more on punitive than corrective, we miss it. Okay. Many of our correctional centers, I don't know if we have for juvenile, are not really correcting nothing.
So what do you think about
they may end up going there and coming out worse. So for me, because they are still minors, the school and the parents will work hand in hand to met out correct punishment of shame. Of you will go round the school, you will sweep, you will wear color. Something happened. My son did something. They give us that uniform.
Color jacket.
He said, "Mommy, can you change my school?"
And when
I
people
said, "No."
see it,
they know that you've done
He said,
something.
"Mommy, I'm tired of this." I said, "No child of mine is changing school. You will finish there. You
because
will
you
carry
knew it
it
was for the right."
Yes.
Carry your shame
You
with
will
pride.
carry your shame with
Exactly.
pride. So that next time You will not do that.
So what do you think about what Ola said?
About
not allowing them get into schools for a certain period of time.
Yeah, so in that school, when they are doing those kind of punishment, those kids are isolated. They are not going into the regular classes.
Okay.
They have their own special class. They have their own punishment. They have, so as people are passing, then they take them round. As people are passing, they are seeing them in their color, shiny color, lemon, like this, to know that, and they go through it for a time. Then they have a counselor who steps in to handle that. If your school is collecting so much money for school fees, there are certain things you must have on ground. Your standard must be top notch. The problem we have is that we collect a lot of money, but we don't put those things in place. And that where everybody's reacting now, let's send them to juvenile, let's send them to do them. I don't think that is necessary.
Let me hear from...
That's my fear with juvenile, because we know Nigeria now. Correctional center is not correctional center. You go there and become even worse. So, in fact, I agree with almost everything you said, almost everything, if not everything, because they have to shame them.
Serious shame.
So that tomorrow, and the ones coming behind, we know that this is not an acceptable thing. But I still feel that the school should be looked into.
Yes.
I still feel that there are lacks in their... Because when you give your child to a school, you are giving the you are giving them the school the responsibility of bringing up your child in the right way. And when they're not bringing up your child in the right way and they're doing this kind of thing, I would hold the school responsible.
Would you prosecute? You know? Would you go as far as prosecuting?
Yeah. The school, depending.
Okay. Depending. I mean, seeing that if that was your child.
Exactly. So, me, if it was to be my child, honestly, let's look at it. That's what I will be looking at it.
You're sitting at home, a video is sent to you.
And then you see that it's your child. So me, I'll prefer what BC said. I'll prefer that he's being punished in school. Okay. You know, give him all these this thing to do, wash toilets, cut grass, do everything.
That's if your son is the bully.
Yes.
If your son is the bully.
Yes.
The one on the ground that they were beating.
No, if the child is the bully.
Okay. She's agreeing with
you.
The bully.
So you know, if in that case, a teacher must be, he must have a teacher assigned to him, so the teacher can monitor him closely, and also even the group, the whole set of them, all of them should have each teacher monitor them, so that
the teacher also has to go and teach. I mean, we have to
now. They have to be. We have to. We can't stop. Sorry.
No. What I'm saying is, we may have to just employ people that just watch students, because if we look at, I have a friend as a teacher, and I know how overwhelming she says it is. It is. Apart from the academic work you have to do, you have to also.
But this one is a special case.
This one is a special case. I understand. We're all here at this table trying to find a resolution, and I'm just pointing out holes in some things, just so that if we can think better about it.
Okay, so let me finish. Sorry, Auntie. So let me finish. So another thing is, he can continue with his education, because I don't think stopping him is the right thing to do. He can continue his education, but if he's in the class, he's going to be isolated. Yes. You put him maybe at the back of the class or something, and then he's on his own. And then when he finishes, when he finishes, he goes to
reports to his
house master, and then they go and he starts his house chores. Okay. So they should punish him very well in this school, because if you expel him, of course, me, I'll take him. If he comes to sit down in the house, I won't want him to sit down inside the house. I'll take him to another school. I'll take him to another school.
Out of time. I was going to say that sometimes when you leave a bully or a person who is misbehaving in its environment, that you've put him in a uniform does not stop his power. His goons are still watching and saying, so this is what you have caused my master to do.
No, they are
so that's why sometimes, don't say that. That's why sometimes you take away that person from that environment, because that environment already sees him. He already has a reputation in that environment. So those are some of the things that, I feel we should look at when we're punishing some students. If it's a notorious bully, they may have to be expelled. Okay. If it's a notorious bully, I love the idea of someone who probably, maybe if this is your second school and you still have that sort of situation, then let that child be at home for a few years and then come back into school.
I believe the bully is not the behavior. The child is not the behavior. Okay. If we can find the root cause of the behavior, they're still within where we can correct. Yes. Okay. It's when they become adults like us now that it's difficult to correct. Exactly. That we can say, just take this person out of the space. But as children, there's still that fear in them that you can find a place to harness and correct what you can.
So what's going to happen to all the other kids that were around? So not everyone, not just witnesses. Some of them were there, just to watch Oga bully do the bullying. There were some people that took videos, some people that were just looking, didn't say anything. You know, what do we do with
all
those?
of them will be
Those
punished.
ones will be punished
They have
too.
their degrees
Exactly.
of punishment that will be meted.
Yes.
For you to be there, you did not report, you are a part of it. You are culpable.
So what degree of
it depends on the
Yeah,
school
it
and
depends.
what
They
they
all
agree with. We don't
wear-
have time to go.
Yeah, they should be separate that group.
Yeah.
They
A
should
lot of
dissolve.
schools, because you are saying the teachers are overworked. It's not only the teachers that you live in the schools. Now you have to have counselors, you have to have the people
All
that
the
are
other
checking the
Even the
students.
teachers take turns. You
You
finish
have
your
to have
session, you
everybody.
monitor for 1 hour.
You can't be
and they
taking
take
big school
turns.
fees and then you're not doing the
You're
right
not doing
thing.
the work.
The aim is
I'm
to
giving
make
you-
sure.
What if you're in
I'm
school
giving
where
my
you're not
child-
taking
bring
big
my
school
child
fees?
without teeth because he was bullied.
What if you are not taking big school
Without teeth
fees?
now.
And that they maybe they fit to remove their teeth now.
Who will pay for the teeth?
Oh,
The most important thing is
government
the most important thing is they should make sure they dissolve that group. That group cannot exist. Since at the end of the day, that group they are bullying people, so that group must
All
not
of them will
exist.
be-
So everybody they have
that
to.
will be punishment while in school.
And then also
or-
having maybe there should be therapy too. They should be
They
talking
should
to
be
them.
therapy.
Yes, they
There
should be
be
talking to them,
counselors talking to them.
and they should
the,
separate.
the bullied ones need therapy.
I mean, let me even say what I would like. If they keep you in the school, I would say that every morning you go and greet the person you bully.
Yes, it's part
And
of
even
it.
wash his uniform.
Yes.
Take his bag to
Do
school.
Wash
everything.
their toilet.
Carry his bag. Exactly.
Anyway, thank you so much, ladies. Another, enlightening conversation that we had today. Our viewers hope you learned as much as we did today. And we can't wait for you to join us tomorrow for another spectacular episode. Bye for now. World Oral Health Day, and we'll be commemorating that by talking to our guests here today. So once we're done with this particular segment, then we'll go back to the bullying conversation. So don't go anywhere. Right after this conversation, we'll be going back to our hot topic. So a bright smile can open doors, they say, but behind every healthy smile is good oral care. As the world marks World Oral Health Day, attention turns to the simple habits that keep our teeth and gums healthy. On Your View, we discuss why oral health should not be ignored. While many people believe brushing alone is enough, dental experts warn that poor oral hygiene can lead to cavities, gum disease, bad breath, and even affect overall health. Yet some argue that many people only visit the dentist when they feel pain instead of making regular checkups part of their routine. To guide us through this important conversation, we're joined by Dr. Fumi Adeni, founder of Lux Dental Clinic, who will share practical tips on proper oral care, common dental problems, and simple steps everyone can take to maintain healthy teeth and a confident smile. Of course, we'd like you to join the conversation as usual on 09024163440 and tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we're celebrating World Oral Health Day. And to be honest, I think dental care in the list of our priorities is not usually the first three, It's usually at the bottom, only when we are carrying a headache or something we don't quite understand. Yes, it's either that though, or the extreme, which is just for cosmetic reasons. That's another thing that has come up, blown up in recent times. So could you tell us why dental care is important and we have to move it up our priority list? Yeah.
So our mouths are the gateway to our bodies, and we always say that it's also the mirror of your body. You can see everything happening in your body usually by looking at your gums, your teeth. When there is high inflammation, you can see it in gum disease. You eat with your mouth, you speak, you kiss, you do so much with your mouth daily, and so it's important that you take extra precaution in taking care of your mouth. And we always say your toothbrush is not enough. No matter how well you brush, and we advise that you brush twice daily and floss daily, you still need a routine dental cleaning. that goes under the gum, that goes in between the teeth to take away plaque, calculus, dirt, germs hiding there. And many of these times there's a mouth-body connection, and so blood vessels flow from your mouth to your heart to other parts of your body. And now we've seen so many disease conditions that have oral manifestations. So we see that if you take care of your mouth, there's a reduced chance of having Alzheimer's, Parkinsonism, and all of that. And so it is important that we check our mouth. With diabetes, with hypertension also, you see that mouth effect. And so if you take care of your mouth, you reduce the predilection of some of those things also. Wow.
Yeah, amazing. I've seen some people who inherited gum issues, teeth issues. It started from their grandfather and then moved to their grandmother, and then the person is still dealing with those issues. And you know, the conversations I've had is that I do all that I need to do. I brush twice a day, you know, but I still have, you know, issues with my gum and my teeth that I need to constantly. So is there any way we can, you know, take care of our teeth in such a way that even though your father or your mother had it, it's not passed down to you? Is that possible in the first place?
So many times what is passed down is the tooth arrangement, the jaw proportions, but not then maybe sometimes the microflora that is present in your mouth. But you can change all these things with good dental care, visiting a dentist every 6 months, because cleaning, brushing at home is not enough. You need that extra care from the dentist. Sometimes we do some saliva tests to say, oh, this is what is present, this is what we need to offset. You need to take reduced sugar. And sometimes it's the habits also that are inherited. So you eat so much of sugar, you don't brush at night, you have this, you have tightly positioned teeth, yet food is stuck there for days on days. And so it's usually the habits and the positioning of the teeth are inherited. Every other thing can be changed.
So because we don't regularly check we don't go on regular checks and everything. I know that there are so many people who always have these molars. They always have problem with their molars and everything. So are you saying that if we regular checks, before that molars start having hole inside, usually they always have this hole and it's always very deep. If we regular checks, can it be detected before? Because most times, anytime it's being detected, they have to remove that particular molar. So is there a way it can be avoided?
We return briefly to that developing story we told you about earlier. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu have now departed Abuja for that historic state visit to the United Kingdom. The visit, at the invitation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla, is already being seen as a major diplomatic moment, with President Tinubu set to be received at Windsor Castle, a rare honor for a Nigerian leader. During the visit, the president is expected to hold high-level talks with British officials, attend a state banquet, meet with investors and business leaders, and engage the Nigerian community in the UK, all aimed at strengthening diplomatic and economic ties. We'll keep tracking this visit and bring you fresh updates across all TVC communication platforms as it unfolds. And to our regular viewers, we still have with us Dr. Funmi Adeniyi, and we're still commemorating World Oral Health Day. So Ramota had asked you a question earlier concerning molars coming out and what can be done, to prevent the issues, the pains that come with it. Yes.
So I was saying that the enamel, the outer covering of the tooth, is the hardest substance in the body. And so it takes prolonged years of assault by bacteria that break down sugar acids to cause a hole that eventually leads to, that's what we call a cavity, that eventually leads to us having to remove that tooth. And so with regular dental visits, it can be detected in the first 1 year. It wouldn't have progressed significantly, and a simple feeling will sort that out. In some cases where the third molar is impacted because the jaw is not big enough, wide enough to accommodate it coming out into the mouth, then a prophylactic removal will be done, which is usually a very simple procedure. Taking it out to prevent, sometimes the teeth are not lying as they should, they're not standing upright, they're leaning against the next tooth, and so there's space for food to pack and decay to happen there, so you lose 2 teeth instead of 1. In that case, we take out the 8 to prevent that.
Yeah. There's a question I'd like to ask that many Nigerians like to ask when we say go to the dentist. our chewing stick, our ancestors used it, and nothing happened to their teeth. Why is it now you are telling us to be visiting dentists? Well, we never did, and we just had our chewing sticks.
Yeah. So there's a lot of wisdom in the chewing stick.
Okay.
There's a lot of health benefits. There's the idiata idiari or something.
Yeah,
from
I know
Yoruba. There's miswak from the Asian tribes, and they have been proven to have health benefits. Clove has a lot of oils in it that are very good for the mouth. But we haven't conducted enough research yet. So with the toothpaste you have, we know how many grams we need. We know what will happen if there's an overdose. We need to do that with our indigenous products. And so we need to invest in research. And then, but yes, you can combine it with some of these things with what is common medical knowledge.
Okay. You know, when I knew you were coming, I was very sad.
Why?
Because I have been saying in my mind, I'm going to the dentist. Because you know you're supposed to see the dentist every 6 months.
Yeah.
And I promised my dentist that I will come, but it's been like over a year, and I've been having toothache. And when I knew you were coming, the toothache became even worse. I want to ask, not concerning my own teeth, concerning like my grandson. He's almost 8. He's only lost 2 of the bottom teeth, and I'm wondering, do you even have teeth to come out? Because my niece, she didn't, after she lost her milk teeth, no adult teeth, no permanent teeth came out. My sister, she died with her baby teeth, and they didn't remove them because there were no permanent teeth. So what is the cause of that?
Okay, that deserves a Guinness Book of Record.
So first things first is do not manage dental pain. Just schedule the appointment. Just go there. And if somehow you can't see your dentist, maybe they're far away, check into one close beside you. Just get an x-ray done and communicate with your dentist so that you know what is happening. Because pain is an indication that there's something wrong and you need to attend to it. And I always say prevention is cheaper, is less painful, is more convenient than cure.
Toothache is supposed to be the worst pain.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Next to labor pain.
Yes.
I haven't ever had toothache, so I'm bad at
Don't
it.
have it.
Yeah.
Just see your dentist.
But there's something I'm seeing quite often now. A lot of our children are wearing braces or mandated to wear braces. When we were growing up, we seem to be fine, most of us, you know. So is there something we're doing in our lifestyle now that is causing our children affect?
Okay, yes.
So
So I'll
wear
touch on
braces.
her grandkids. So sometimes we have congenitally missing teeth.
Oh,
And sometimes they're present, but they're stuck somewhere in the maxilla, in the mandible. And what we call an OPG or a CBCT will show you where they are. So I have a client who I'm managing now, and her canines, she's about 12. Her canines are about 8 millimeters below where they should be. And so we've created space for it now. We're watching it. For another child, we had to put a traction where we put something on the tooth that is not developing and help it guide it out. So sometimes some teeth need assistance to come out. And but you have to see a dentist to know what is happening.
At what age should you be worried that your child's milk teeth are not coming out?
So on the average these days, permanent teeth begin to change at about 6, 7 these days. Usually children are changing from milk to permanent. They have the mixed dentition, what we call the ugly duckling stage, because some are white and small, some are big and darker, and so you should be looking at 6, 7. So by the time a child is 7, 8 and you don't have permanent teeth, you should visit your dentist to see what's going on. Let's check. And then for children wearing braces now, yes, I think it's the fact that there's more awareness about how people want their children to look. So when there's spaces, the mothers notice. When there's crowding, they're like, something is wrong here, because people are more aware. People are more economically empowered, so because they see and they can do something about it. But there's also the case of children not eating as much fiber, not eating as much heavy dose meals that help your jaws develop as much as they should be. A lot of children are on pacifiers till they are 4, 5, and so it distorts the way the jaws grow. So jaws are shrinking because that action of sucking on a pacifier constricts the maxilla, causes an open bite, so your teeth don't bite together, and so we have to correct all of this with braces.
I love that you went there, because I've been thinking of how to put, is it orthodontist conversation into it, because my daughter has had issues, ENT issues for a while, and one of the things when we're seeing a dentist is that she has to see an orthodontist to build her jaw.
Okay.
So I buy bones, like my mother used to do, and I give them, chew it, so that you look, I say to my son, so you look handsome, you know, if you have jaws. So yes, those are the lifestyle, but they're apart from, you know, chewing, but things like sugar, I'm hearing this lifestyle changes that we have imbibed is affecting our dental health. Please, could you speak more about that?
So the action of even fiber, chewing carrots, chewing cucumbers, just eating fruits. A lot of us are juicing fruits. We are taking juices instead of chewing on fibrous meals, and it affects. And really, we need to tend more to whole organic food, closer to how it is in its natural state, and all of that. And then exercise activities, speaking, all of that also.
But this organic thing that you are talking about, sorry, Abiadulu, this organic thing that you are talking about, this GMO, we don't have organic
seeds and all of those things.
Why are we going to find this organic when they are bringing GMO? They are bringing even ginger.
She's a dentist, though. You're not asking her serious scientific GMO.
We still have access to a lot of organic food in Nigeria, because I choose where I buy my food. So I look for people that grow in Jos. I know how they're growing. I buy my chicken from a farm where I know they use very little fertilizer. They use natural products. So we can still look within our environment. And in Nigeria, if you throw a seed on the ground, it will grow. Just I have flower pots now behind my house where I plant some leaves, some things I can grow on my own, and we should all tend to farming.
Thank you. Well done.
I've actually started.
Yes. Don't worry.
Okay. So these days, I've noticed that when you go to all these supermarkets, you find out that on the shelves of the supermarket, there are a lot of baking soda, toothpaste, charcoal, all of those things. Is it true that it really whitens the teeth, and does it have side effects? So that we'll go and buy plenty.
So baking soda and activated charcoal, they are highly abrasive. And so what they do is they wear away the enamel. And so in
the natural gloss.
Yes, in the first few, maybe 3 months, it will look like, it's getting brighter. But what it is it's beginning to expose the dentine under, and then you begin to have that shocking sensation when you drink cold water. When the air touches, it's sensitive, because that's where the nerves are, and in the end your teeth become yellower. So I always just say, just err on the side of caution, less abrasive, things that are approved by the Federal Dental Association, Nigerian Dental Association. Those are things that are safe for consumption in Nigeria. But no home medications, no mixing of baking soda
and stuff, and hydrogen peroxide. No, well, some of us are learning too late. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Funmi Adeni. Is there any last words you'd like to share with our viewers?
As I always say, your toothbrush is not enough. Plan, schedule to see your dentist every 6 months. Take your children there once they begin to erupt teeth.
You hear?
So that we're sure everything is on track. Don't wait for pain, and when you feel pain, go immediately, because prevention is cheaper.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.